snuck through the back door using the Census Bureau because it is in the Constitution. But however, a lot of people are filling out these census forms without even consulting anybody or even wondering what the hell is going on. And this is what you're supposed to fill, or under the Constitution. You tell these scumbags to come to your door, you are protected by the United States Constitution, and any laws that they have are null and void under the Constitution. They cannot make a law that goes against the Constitution. And this is what you're supposed to fill out on your census. Only, you know, this is for Article 1, Section 2, Clause 3 of the Constitution. The only information you are empowered to request is the total number of occupants at this address. Name, sex, age, date of birth, race, ethnicity, and telephone number in relationship to housing table. And these have, most of these have nothing absolutely to do with reporting direct taxes or determining the number of representatives in the House of Representatives. Therefore, neither Congress nor the Census Bureau have the constitutional authority to make that information request a component of the numerical outlined in Article 1, Section 2, Clause 3. In addition, I cannot be subject to a fine for basing my conduct on the Constitution because the document trumps laws passed by Congress. And this is it's a letter going around, I'm sure you got it on Facebook or MySpace, telling you exactly, what you're supposed to. Basically, you give you detail of information, your name, race, and age, and all that. It's been through the census forever. But they want to know detailed information. You do not have to fill that out. There's no law. I don't care if they threaten you with a $5,000 fine. You tell them to take that $5,000 fine and shove it. Because it is under the Constitution. It's your right to only fill out the required information in the Constitution. Not by Acorn, not by the Census Bureau. Which, mind you, the Census Bureau is controlled by the United States government now. Which used to be an entity on its own. Now the government took it over to slide through the back door. And we got climate change here to ruse the control population. This is from the Salt Lake Tribune. And I highlighted this under eugenics. And I suggest any of you out there to go study what eugenics are. Eugenics is a complete manipulative system. There was 3 universities that taught eugenics in California. And this is where Hitler, Stalin, Mao, all these dictators that killed millions of people, this is where they got their beliefs from. Eugenics is, the heart of eugenics is from evolution. Survival of the fittest, the superior only survive. Under eugenics, anybody that's handicapped, anybody that's old and disabled, you worked all your life and now you're old and disabled, or you're just old, you can't, you're not able to produce much, you're all subject to eugenics. It's right, population control. Bill Gates himself admitted 2 weeks ago when he was on television, he said that the world is overpopulated because this whole climate gate bullcrap is going around saying this world is overpopulated and we need a depopulation program. Now, the origination of the depopulation program started from the 1700s, from the French Revolution, from the JACOBIN'S depopulation program, aka the Illuminati. That's where it started. When they took over France, in school you learned the monarch started the revolution. No, far from the truth. We're going to get into detailed history about that, real detailed history about the American Revolution, the French Revolution, and just about every war. The Illuminati caused the French Revolution. When they took over France, they started a huge depopulation program, killing masses of people on a massive scale. And eugenics is the cover name, the clean name, the educational name for depopulation. And they openly state in the documents that the world's all overpopulated. And the American Stonehenge in Georgia, the state of Georgia, they took down the 10 Commandments of God. Oh, the Supreme Court thinks it's a violation, blah, blah, blah. Then some mysterious RC Christian guy erected this huge monument. Now, whoever put this monument up, it has to be a complete genius. Because now, the New World is called the New World Order 10 Commandments. The first commandment is to reduce and maintain humanity to 500 million people. That means 6 billion people are going to die. Plain and simple. 6 billion people are going to die. They're openly stating on there, and UN documents on Copenhagen. I got the Copenhagen documents right here. the whole treaty here. The world's overpopulated. They're trying to induce a one-child policy like they did in China. I mean, it's just total tyranny, total fraud. They're pushing this whole global warming hoax, okay? They didn't tell you the reason why the world was heating up for a while, because the sun goes through solar, it's called solar maximum, solar, it's recycling, and it causes sunspots that not only heats up the earth, but every planet. CO2 is not the cause of global warming. That was the cause. The planets actually cooled down, and you got idiots like Al Gore chasing his man-bear pig, trying to say, oh yeah, we got global warming. And at the Copenhagen meeting, they were that close from implementing the carbon tax. And what happens? God takes the wrench and throws into the works of the New World Order. The whole continent of the European Union, Europe is frozen. Then now nations are starting to question Al Gore, and they're considering putting him in an indictment. He should be under indictment. The guy's a crook. He's a fraud. And he's a complete jerk and scumbag, too. The guy goes around chasing his imaginary man-bear pig, tells you people out there when you all been to zoos when you're kids, you're in the tanks there, and you can see the penguins and the polar bears swimming. Then he goes and tells you all polar bears can't swim, they're drowning up in the North Pole. They show you the glaciers melting, but they don't show you freezing back up again. I mean, it's a total fraud. Plain and simple. It's a carbon tax. They want to charge you for the air you're breathing out of your mouth. The air's coming out of my mouth now. They want to be taxing me for that. Total fraud, total tyranny. And anybody knows that all vegetation on the side highways, plants, trees, whatever, grows faster and more thicker than even in the rainforest. Why? Because of the CO2. The more CO2 they get, the more oxygen we get. It's an ongoing cycle. Yes, there's nothing wrong with taking care of your planet. You know, by all means, reduce emissions and everything. But this whole global warming carbon tax, the Clean Cap and Trade Clean Air Act, is a fraud, plain and simple. And it says Republican Mike Knoll, the legislative chief climate change skeptic, declared Thursday that global warming is a conspiracy to control world population. And I've been reporting that on my show for 8 months now. You know, even before this global warming was like really kicking in the mainstream. You know, that they're going to pose a global warming tax on you, a carbon tax. They're going to charge you for the air you breathe. And that's right, when your carbon credits run out, guess what? Gone. You're right in the bill, you know. It says climate alarmist carbon dioxide related global warming hypothesis is unable to account for the current downturn in global temperatures. That's right, record snowfall in Washington, D.C. Now you got Obama and all these people saying, oh, that's the result of global warming. Doesn't take a scientist to figure that out. How does global warming get to do with snow? You know what I mean? And the resolution sent to the House on a 10-1 vote would urge the Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, to drop plans to regulate the pollution blamed for climate change until a full and independent investigation of the climate data, conspiracy, and global warming science can be sustained. Because what they do is they take the scientific data, you know, these global warmers, they manipulate it to make you think it's global warming when they don't disclose to you. That's all a fraud. They don't disclose to you how it was the sun going through sun off solar flares. And the Clean Air, the Act Cap and Trade Law. I mean, you got 12 reasons why that it's a hoax. We don't have time to get into them all. But you could also, if you want to look into further investigation on this, go to the Salt Lake Tribune and go to the archives. It's from 02/05 of 2010, and it's the Salt Lake Tribune. And you can look up the archives, it's obviously there, and you can do the studies on your own. And because I don't have much time to disclose all this information. And what I was just saying earlier about the eugenics, about this document here, this is from the Washington blog, how H.G. Wells spoke against ill-trained swarms of inferior citizens. And basically the whole eugenics idea came from California. Well, it started from, you know, the Jacobins in the French Revolution, but it wasn't called eugenics at the time. They were just plain out to slaughter people, plain and simple. And this whole article goes on just explain where they get into deep details about all this stuff, the eugenics. And that's a show you got to see. Yeah, we got the day,